text 29. We're going to continue from there. I read the verse. Canto 6, chapter 10, verse 29. Te swa prayasam vitatam nirikshya harava bhakta hata yuddha darpaha palayanayaji mukhe vrisrijya patim manaste daduratta. Canto 6, chapter 10, text 29, translation by Srila Prabhupada. The Asuras, who are never devotees of Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, lost their pride in fighting when they found all their endeavors futile. Leaving aside their leader, even in the very beginning of the fight, they decided to flee because all their prowess had been taken away by the enemy. So you see, here the battle between demigods and Dhritarashtra is so sorry. I'm so sorry. Krishna sent somebody from home for me when I'm coughing at the right time. I'm not well, but I thought without informing you about that, I'll continue the class. But please tolerate in case I cough in between. Bhakti? Bhakti? So sorry. So sorry, they're not able to share. No problem. I'll continue. If I need something for my nose, I will have to clean my nose. I didn't find my kerchief here. Okay, let's continue. Krishna is there. When they come, I will ask. So you see the demons who are never devotees of Krishna, they are running in fear, leaving aside their leader. So what is this happening is the battle between the demigods and Dhritarashtra. And from 13th verse to 29th verse, between first verse to 12th verse was the conversation between the demigods and the Dichimuni. And 13th verse to 29th verse, the demigods attack the demons. And what happens during that time was Indra attacks Vritrasura with a thunderbolt made of the Dichi's bones. So the place and time of the battle and the armies of the demigods and the demons was involved between, you see in that 16th verse, 22nd verse, it talks about the place and time of the battle and the armies of demigods and demons involved. And 23rd verse, 26th verse, it talks about the demons attack the demigods with various weapons, but the demigods nullified all of them. So what happened to the asuras, the demons, was from 27th verse to 29th verse, we are seeing that the demons were afraid and futile in their attempt. They agreed to run away, leaving their leader. So this is what is happening. So now there's no purport for this verse. So we're going to the 30th verse. 30th verse to 33rd verse, you will see how Vritrasura chastises the fleeing demons. He's chastising his team members, the demons. So what exactly he speaks? He speaks according to time, place, and circumstance to inspire the demons by saying death is unavoidable and one should accept glorious death on the battlefield without showing one's back. Thus, you'll gain promotion to higher planets. Like that, I'm finding it in the Subodhini, the summary. So we will go through it. Okay. Uh, Canto 6, chapter 10, text 30. Vrutru suramstan anugan manasvi radhavata prekshya babhasa etad palayitam prekshya balam cha bhagnam bhayena tivrena vihasya veeraha. 26, chapter 10, text 30, translation. Seeing his army broken, all the asuras, even those known as great heroes, fleeing the battlefield out of intense fear, Vritrasura, who was truly a great minded hero, smiled and spoke the following words. So, um, just a minute, please excuse me. I have to close my flask and I have to get a thing to wipe my nose. Just give me half a minute's time. I'm so sorry for this. Oh, Krishna. So sorry. Very sorry. So now there won't be a disturbance. I have everything right here. Right here. I have my glass and my glass. So I have my tissues to clean. So you see, this also does not have a purport. Seeing his army broken, all of the asuras, even those known as great heroes, were fleeing in great fear. So seeing such people, the great minded hero Vritrasura smiles and he speaks. So what does he speak? Let's see. Canto 6, chapter 10, text 31. Kalopapannam ruchiram manasvinam jagadavacham purusha pravira he viprachitte namuse puloman maya nar maya narvan chambara me shrunudvam. Canto 6, chapter 10, text 31, translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. According to his position and the time and circumstances, Vritrasura, the great hero among heroes, spoke words that were much to be appreciated by thoughtful men. He called to the heroes of the demons, O Viprachiti, O Namuchi, O Puloma, O Maya, Anarva, and Shambara, please hear me and do not flee. So you see, he's very sweetly calling all of them and telling them to listen. Don't run, listen, wait. Then in the next verse, Canto 6, chapter 10, verse 33. Oh, I have some more. So, Jatasya mrityor dhruva eva sarvata. So purport, sorry. So we are reading the shloka directly. Canto 6, chapter 10, text 32. Jatasya mrityor dhruva eva sarvata प्रतिक्रिया यस्य न चेह क्लिप्ता लोको यशश्चात ततो यदिह्यमुम् को नाम मृत्युं न वृणीत युक्तम्. Canto 6, chapter 10, text 32, translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Vritrasura said, all living entities who have taken birth in this material world must die. Surely, no one in this world has found any means to be saved from death. Even Providence has not provided a means to escape it. Under the circumstances, death being inevitable, if one can gain promotion to the higher planetary systems and be always celebrated here by dying a suitable death, what man will not accept such a glorious death? So, Canto 6, Chapter 10, Text 32, purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila. If by dying one man can be elevated to the higher planetary systems and be ever famous after his death, why so foolish that he will refuse such a glorious death? Similar advice was also given by Krishna to Arjuna. My dear Arjuna, the Lord said, do not desist from fighting. If you gain victory in the fight, you will enjoy a kingdom. And even if you die, you will be elevated to heavenly planets. Everyone should be ready to die while performing glorious deeds. A glorious person is not meant to meet a death like cats and dogs. So you see, uh, it's a talk of a leader, a warrior, a hero among the warriors. The true military warriors will speak like this. And this is how Krishna spoke to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna had told to Arjuna that, Arjuna, why are you why are you crying and giving me reasons that, if I die also, if I die also, it's better, than kill them. And how can I enjoy if they are not there, and things like that. But it is nonsense. Krishna told, these words are befitting only a weak-hearted person who is impotent. Krishna says like that to Arjuna. And then he says that, if you actually fight, hatova, jitva, something like that, the verse comes in Bhagavad Gita. If you die, you will go to the heavenly abode and enjoy there. If you live, you will rule and you will still enjoy. In either case, if you fight and die, you'll go to higher planetary systems. If you fight and live, you will rule happily. So why don't you fight? That is what Krishna said. And that's exactly what Vritrasura is saying. And therefore, Vritrasura is speaking very sensibly to his, his team members, the Asuras. So I felt very inspired seeing this. That I always had one fear. Death, if it comes in a painless way, it's good. I used to feel like that. In a painless way, it will be nice. But suppose if I am going to be killed by a terrorist, like sometimes it happens now, even ISKCON people are killed very badly. So I just think if such thing happens, then what I will do? Then I just think that then I will smile at them and I will try to speak sweetly till they kill me. I think so. Hearing this was quite inspiring for me. That it's true. If I have to die with the militant, even if I try to escape, I will anyway die. If I have to die badly, I will anyway die. It is Krishna's choice how I should die, how we should die. So we should not fear. This is very inspiring for me also. With the Rudrasura's preaching. So it is in Canto 6, Chapter 10, towards the end of the chapter. Last but one verse. I really liked it for personal application. So, in case if you people have any such fear of particular kinds of death, then some terrible death, then you can also see this and know that if Krishna wants it a cruel way, then we will have to die the cruel way. If we have to die in a nice way, then we will have to die the nice way. That we cannot avoid. So, if we cannot avoid death, and if we have to die Krishna's way, then let's accept, because the secret is, if we are devotees, then, my dear friends, when we die in a cruel way or in a sweet way, who's going to receive us at the moment of our death is Krishna himself. To devotees, death comes as sweet smiling Krishna. But for those who are not the devotees of the Lord, but for those who are the sinners, death comes in a very ghastly form. So, why fear? Let us practice our devotional service nicely. Then, anytime, any kind of death, let's keep in mind Ritrasura's words, and let's also have the faith that when we die, Krishna is going to come to receive us if we are daily practicing devotional service. So, our business is not to bother about what kind of death we will get. Our business is what kind of devotional service I have to practice now to get beautiful death. Death can be ugly, but it is still beautiful for a devotee because Krishna is going to come and receive us the moment we leave this body. The moment we leave this body, death is going to come like sweet smiling Krishna for the devotees. So there's no fear for us about death. Then we go to Canto 6, chapter 10, text 33. द्वौ सम्मताविह मृत्युदुरापौ यद्ब्रह्मसन्धारणयाजितासु कलेवरं योग रतो विजह्याद् यदग्रनिर्वीरशयी निवृत्ताः. Canto 6, Chapter 10, Text 33, Translation by Srila Prabhupada. There are two ways to meet a glorious death, and both are very rare. One is to die after performing mystic yoga, especially bhakti yoga, by which one can control the mind and the living force and die absorbed in thought of Supreme Personality of Godhead. The second is to die on the battlefield, leading the army and never showing one's back. These two kinds of death are recommended in the Shastra as glorious. You see this Vritrasura. He is fighting with the Devatas and he is telling his team members that you have to be happy means he's inspiring them to die. Hey, you're lucky, you're going to die in a glorious death like that. You're lucky, if you will die performing mystic yoga, especially bhakti yoga, by focusing on the Lord. He's even indirectly telling, hey buddhos, you please focus on the Lord and die. If you're getting while fighting, you die. He's trying to say that, but he's saying, see, even if you're focusing your mind on the Lord and if you're dying, it's glorious. Or if you're fighting and without showing your back, if you die, by showing the back, if somebody still shoots us and if we die, that's like dying like a cat and a dog. Terrible, ugly. But if you're going to die facing and fighting, it's going to be glorious like that. He's telling, you're if we can die this way, it's great. If we can die that way, it's great. So by saying let's die, let's die, let's fight and die, let's fight and die, so he's actually motivating. uh, yes, there's no purport for this. So thus in the Bhaktivedanta purports of the sixth canto, 10th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Battle Between the Demigods and Vritrasura. So we move to chapter 11, and I have still 20 minutes, no, 30 minutes time. Wow. So I will go on. When there are last 10 minutes, I will wait for your question answers. Okay, as much as we can cover, let's cover. So chapter 11, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, chapter 11. Um, Prabhupada gives a short introduction. Let's read it. The Transcendental Qualities of Vritrasura. What a title. So we are going to see what a nice devotee Vritrasura was. So we should learn from Vritrasura. So let's see what Prabhupada says. This chapter describes Vritrasura's great qualities. When the prominent commanders of the demons fled, not hearing Vritrasura's advice, Vritrasura condemned them all as cowards. Speaking very bravely, he stood alone to face the demigods. When the demigods saw Vritrasura's attitude, they were so afraid that they practically fainted, and Vritrasura began trampling them down. Unable to tolerate this, Indra, the king of the demigods, threw his club at Vritrasura. But Vritrasura was such a great hero that he easily caught the club with his left hand. and used it to beat Indra's elephant. Struck by the blow of Vritrasura, the elephant was pushed back 14 yards and fell with Indra on its back. King Indra had first accepted Vishwarupa as his priest and thereafter killed him, reminding Indra of his heinous activities. Vritrasura said, if one is a devotee of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, and depends on Lord Vishnu in every respect, then victory, opulence, and peace of mind are all inevitably available. Such a person has nothing for which to aspire in three worlds. The Supreme Lord is so kind that he especially favors such a devotee by not giving him opulence that will hamper his devotional service. Therefore, I wish to give up everything for the service of the Lord. I wish always to chant the glories of the Lord and engage in his service. Let me become unattached to my worldly family and make friendships with the devotees of the Lord. I do not desire to be promoted to higher planetary systems, even to Dhruvaloka or Brahmaloka, nor do I desire an unconquerable position within this material world. I have no need for such things. This is Vritrasura. How beautiful. So as you can see, what we're going to see in this chapter is that he is Vritrasura, though he very nicely, motivatingly spoke. The demons were not inspired to die. They fled, and then he alone came with all the courage to fight, and seeing his courage, the devatas fainted practically. That's what we saw. And then what happens, we will go through this chapter verse by verse, and let's see. And then finally, he'll end up speaking to Indra. He is also here. He's reminding Indra that about how he killed his own spiritual master number two. First spiritual master, he didn't respect fully. He got angry and he went away. Second spiritual master, he went and begged and accepted, learned to protect himself, and then finally killed him. So Vritrasura is saying what kind of activities you did. So we will see all these things in details when the verse will come. So now let's go to chapter 6, canto 6, chapter 11, text 1. Shri Shuka Uvacha Ka evam samsato dharmam vacha patyur achetasah naivagrhnanta sambranta palayana parandrapa. Translation, Canto 6, Chapter 11, Text 1, translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Sri Shukadev Goswami said, O king, Vritrasura, the commander of chief the demons, advised his lieutenants in the principles of religion. But the cowardly demoniac commanders, intent upon fleeing the battlefield, were so disturbed by fear that they could not accept his words. You see? So, as we can see, Vritrasura's commanders in chiefs were not bold like him, so they were fleeing. So we will go to, there's no purport, so we move to Canto 6, Chapter 11, text 2 and 3 verses. Even this does not have a purport. Let's read the shloka. Vishiryamanam pratanam asurim asurarshavaha Kalanukulais Ridash Ridashai Kalyamanam Anathavad Drishtavad Tapyata Sankruddha Indra Shatrur Amarshitaha Tan Nivaryau Rajan Nirbartrasyedam Uvachaha. Canto 6, Chapter 11, Text 2 and 3, translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. O King Parikshit, the demigods, taking advantage of a favorable opportunity presented by time, attacked the army of the demons from the rear. and began driving away the demoniac soldiers. So the demigods, taking advantage of a favorable opportunity presented by time, attacked the army of the demons from the backside, from the rear, and began driving away the demoniac soldiers, scattering them here and there, as if their army had no leader. Seeing the pitiable condition of his soldiers, Vritrasura, the best of the Asuras, who was called Indrashatru, the enemy of Indra, was very much aggrieved. Unable to tolerate such reverses, he stopped and forcefully rebuked the demigods, speaking the following words in an angry mood. See, Vritrasura. First of all, he told the Asuras, "You foolish people, accept, embrace the glorious death that you can get while fighting, facing the enemies. Accept it." And his team members were not at all inspired. They were still inspired to save their lives, unfortunately. So it was a reversal number one. And the second reversal was the demigods, who are gods, who are personifications of good qualities, who are supposed to be practicing devotional service in Vishuddha Sattva in a very nice platform. But you see their condition. They're not even following the codes of dharma. What's the code of dharma? That we should never fight with someone who is weaponless. We should not fight with someone who is running away from the battle. We should fight with an equal, and we should fight till we die or till sunset. But you see these devatas, they are chasing those who are running away from them. So, seeing that, first of all, Vritrasura, as a great hero leader, very paternally, he he taught them what should be the mood of facing death. And he had such paternal mood for his demon team. And when they are running, he said, "Okay, I will fight alone." But these devatas, instead of fighting with the one who's wanting to fight, they were chasing those who didn't want to fight. So, for his team, what Vritrasura will feel, he will feel it's another more worse reversal it was. So he got really angry, at this unjust act, shameful act of the demigods. So he got really in an angry mood. He spoke the following words. What's that? I'm also curious because I didn't have time to prepare as I was not well. My daughter also not well. We all not well. So I was resting. I just managed to cook for everybody, and she's more sick. So I could not prepare. So I am reading with you, my dear friends. So it's very interesting for me too. I'm all excited. Let's continue. Canto 6, chapter 11, text number 4. किं वा उच्चरितैर्मातोर् तावद्भि पृष्ठतो हतै न हि भीत वादाश्लाघ्यो न स्वर्ग्य सुरमानिना न स्वर्ग्य सुरमानिना. So, Canto 6, chapter 11, text 4, translation by Srila Prabhupada. The demigods, O demigods, these demoniac soldiers have taken birth uselessly. Indeed, they have come from the bodies of their mothers exactly like stool. What is the benefit of killing such enemies from behind when they are running in fear? One who considers himself a hero should not kill an enemy who is afraid of losing his life. Such killing is never glorious, nor it can promote one to heavenly planets. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Vritrasura rebuked both the demigods and the demoniac soldiers because the demons were running in fear of their lives and the demigods were killing them from behind. The actions of both were abominable. When a fight takes place, the opposing parties must be prepared to fight like heroes. A hero never runs from the field of battle. He always fights face to face, determined to gain victory and to lay down his life in the fight. That is heroic. Killing an enemy from behind is also inglorious. When an enemy turns his back and runs in fear of his life, he should not be killed. This is the etiquette of military science. Vritrasura insulted the demoniac soldiers by comparing them to the stool of their mothers. Both stool and a cowardly son come from the abdomen of the mother. And Vritrasura said that there's no difference between them. A similar comparison was given by Tulsi Dasa, who commented that a sun and a urine both come from the same channel. In other words, semen and urine both come from the genitals, but semen produces a child, whereas urine produces nothing. Therefore, if a child is neither a hero nor a devotee, he is not a son, but urine. Similarly, Chanakya Pandita also says, Kortaputreena jatena Yona vidvana dharmikaha kanena chakshusha kimva chakshu pidaiva kevalam. Chakshu pidaiva kevalam means, what is the use of a son who is neither glorious nor devoted to the Lord? Such a son is like a blind eye which simply gives pain not but cannot help one see. You see? So here Prabhupada is very nicely explaining what Vritrasura intended. So Prabhupada is saying that if you and I, if all of us, we should not be called as urine or stool of the mother, then we should either live a glorious life or we should become devotees. And Prabhupada actually says that the child, this is Chanakya Pandita saying that one has to either be glorious or one has to be devoted. Otherwise, it's simply giving pain. But Prabhupada is, we know, he says that, unless we become a devotee, life is useless. So we can see Prabhupada comparing the example of Tulsi Dasa also, was another renowned devotee of the Lord. So even he also compares, the sun to be like as good as urine, if in one sense, because both come from the same channel, he says. But the point here is that Prabhupada is saying, therefore, if a child is neither a hero nor a devotee, Prabhupada is also saying the same thing, that Prabhupada says that we should either be a hero, at least fight for your country and die, or fight and protect, fight and live a glorious life, kill the enemies and protect your nation, or whatever. Live the life of a hero or become a devotee. If you're not both, then you are as good as urine of the mother. Prabhupada is also saying that, because Vritrasura is saying that he's calling his team members. See, as I told you, Vritrasura had a very paternal feeling for his team members, as a king should have. And he was the leader, so he had that attitude towards his team. So he was very angry with his people who ran away shamelessly, in spite of being motivated by Vritrasura. Shamelessly they ran. So he called them as stools of their mother, because both stool and the son um, have developed in the stomach only, and they come out of the stomach, come exit the stomach, right? All of them. So the son becomes as good as stool if he is not a hero, is inglorious. At the same time, though he has no such paternal feelings for demigods, but he is a devotee. and so he's compassionate. Devotees are compassionate towards their enemies also. You know, even in the war field, he's compassionate to the demigods, being a devotee of the Lord. So he's telling them, now you are in the heaven. You're wanting your place in the heaven. But you fools, if you're killing like this, those who are fleeing fearfully, like the stool of their mother, if you kill them, once you die, you won't even get higher rank system. Higher doing such a dirty thing, inglorious thing like that, you know. Sorry. Let's move to the next verse. So Vritrasura is nicely chastising. Let's see what happens next. Canto 6, chapter 11, text 5. यदीव प्रधाने श्रद्धा सारं वाक्शुल्लका हृदि अग्रे तिष्ठतमात्रं मे न चेद्ग्राम्य सुखे स्पृहा. Canto 6, chapter 11, text 5, translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. O insignificant demigods, if you truly have faith in your heroism, if you have patience in the course of your hearts, and if you're not ambitious for sense gratification, please stand before me for a moment. See how nicely he said. Let's read the purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Rebuking the demigods, Vritrasura challenged, O demigods, if you're actually heroes, stand before me now and try to show your prowess. If you do not wish to fight, if you're afraid of losing your lives, I shall not kill you, for unlike you, I am not so evil minded as to kill persons who are neither heroic nor willing to fight. If you have faith in your heroism, please stand before me. This is very, very adorable. Nice purport by Srila Prabhupada. The Prabhupada is explaining that how actually Vritrasura is feeling in his heart. He is telling the demigods, what are you doing? You're going to kill those who are wanting to save their life or running away from you. Whereas here I am standing like a wall, like a pillar. You can't see me. Come on, fight. Or are you afraid to fight with me? If you're afraid, don't worry. I'm not so cheap class, low class like you all. You all are going and killing those who don't want to fight. And if you don't want to fight, I am not going to behave like you. I am not going to kill you. I am going to leave you with your life because I'm not like, I am not like that. So, please come and stand in front, for a moment. He's telling, you know, he's saying, I am not, if you are, see, if you do not wish to fight and if you're afraid of losing your lives, I shall not kill you. Hmm? For unlike you, I'm not like you. Hmm? I'm not so evil minded. You see, he's saying, I'm not so evil minded as to kill persons who are neither heroic nor willing to fight. You're not heroes because you're chasing those who are zeros. My team members are zeros, they're stools. Uh, you're running behind them, and I am here willing to fight. You have no courage to fight with me. You're not a hero. Uh, and then I am not so low class like you that if you are afraid of fighting, I am not going to fight with you also. So please, if you have faith in your heroism, if you think you are heroes, then come and stand before me like that. Very, very nice. I love it. Let's continue for another few minutes because we can cover lots of we can do few more. So let's do it because there are no purports. It's only a nice chastisement. Let's continue in the mood of Ritrasura. So Canto 6, chapter 11, text 6. एवं सुरागुणानां क्रुद्धो एवं सुरगणान् क्रुद्धो विष्यन् वपुष रिपुन् व्यनदत् समूह प्राणो येन लोक विचेतसः. Canto 6, chapter 11, text 6, translation by Srila Prabhupada. Shukdev Goswami said, Vritrasura, the angry and most powerful hero, terrified the demigods with his shout, with, with his stout and strongly built body. When he roared with a resounding voice, nearly all living entities fainted. See, see his physique, huh? See his heart, see his purity, and see his physique. His physique was also amazing. He was stout and strongly built, and his voice was roaring like a resounding voice. And hearing that, demigods nearly fainted. All living entities fainted. Canto 6, chapter 11. There's no purport, so we go to the next verse. Canto 6, chapter 11, text 7. तेन देवगणा सर्वे वृत्र विस्फोटनेन वै निपेतुर्मूर्छिता भूमौ यतैवासनिना हताः. Canto 6, chapter 11, text 7. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. When all the demigods heard Vritrasura's tumultuous roar, which resembled that of a lion, they fainted and fell to the ground as if struck by thunderbolts. Forget about standing. They fell down almost. They fainted, not almost, they fainted and they fell. So there's no question of running away. Now, Canto 6, chapter 11, text 8. ममर्दपद्भ्यां सुरसैन्यमातुरं निमीलिताक्षं रणरङ्गदुर्मदा गां कम्पयन्नुद्यतशूलओजसा नालं वनं यूतपतिर्यतोन्मदा. So Canto 6, chapter 11, text 8, translation by Srila Prabhupada. As the demigods closed their eyes in fear, Vritrasura taking up his trident and making the earth tremble with his great strength, trampled the demigods beneath his feet on the battlefield the way a mad elephant tramples hollow bamboos in the forest. Demigods are compared to hollow bamboos. Hollow bamboos are useless. Hollow bamboos. Yeah, bamboos are always hollow only. So, but he trampled like bamboos are very thin sticks, right? Compared to the strength of the elephant, he easily can trample. So he trampled the demigods below his feet. Then what happens? Canto 6, chapter 11, text 9. There's no purport, so we're going to text 9. Vilokyatam vajradharotyamarshita swashatraviphitravati mahagadam chikshepatam apatatim sudosatam चिक्षेपताम् आपततिं सुदुस्सहां जाग्रहावमेन करेण लीलया. Canto 6, chapter 11, text 9, translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Seeing Vritrasura's disposition, Indra, the king of heaven, became intolerant and threw at him one of his great clubs, which are extremely difficult to counteract. However, as the club flew toward him, Vritrasura easily caught it with his left hand. You know, no purport for this. You know, doing things in left hand is considered as a very, easy. Means the thing that act was very easy, very insignificant. So Indra threw his thunderbolt. That is not insignificant. That is considered as too much. A club, not thunderbolt. Sorry, club. Throwing Indra threw a club out of anger because he was chastising, trampling the demigods. So Indra was naturally very angry, and he threw at him one of his great clubs, which is extremely difficult to counteract. But see this Vritrasura, how powerful! Is not just very good-hearted devotee, not just compassionate to preach to the demigods and be able to excuse them and leave them to live their life. But he was not only physically strong looking, but he was exceptionally good. at military art of fighting in the battle, that what was extremely difficult to counteract, he very easily caught. Next, what happens? Canto 6, chapter 11, text 10. स इन्द्रशत्रु कुपितो भृशं तया महेन्द्रवाहं गदयूरुविक्रमा च जगानकुम्भस्थल उन्नदन्मृते तत्कर्म सर्वे समपूजयन् नृपा. Into 6, chapter 11, text 10, translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. O King Parikshit, the powerful Vritrasura, the enemy of King Indra, angrily struck the head of Indra's elephant with that club, making a tumultuous sound on the battlefield. For this heroic deed, the soldiers on both sides glorified him. Amazing, huh? There's no purport. See how, he not only caught it in the left hand, with that only he hit on Indra's elephant's head. And not just like a pat, it was such a terrible strike, striking sound, this tumultuous, that both sides parties, you know, glorified. Because it's such a great act, from India, one great air, what is that military that goes, they fight on the air flights, it's called Air Force. That some Abhinandan Vartaman, I think was his name. He was captured, by the Pakistan, and actually he was supposed to be sent, but if they were not dealing very nicely. But this Abhinandan Vartaman, he spoke so sweetly, though they were insulting, ill treating him, torturing. When they gave him a tea cup and little tea for him to drink, and they wanted to shoot that actually to show that we are taking care of him, but actually they were torturing him. That time, they asked him, "How's the tea?" He said, he said something very nicely, he appreciated it, like it's super or something like that. I don't remember exactly. He very nicely appreciated the tea, and that became appreciated by the Pakistan people, that they started forwarding that particular video all over Pakistan, and it reached India also, and it became the headlines in the news channels, that see how nicely he's speaking to the opposite party, Pakistan, and how Pakistan is glorifying, like that, when some people are so clean at heart, and when they don't have know, uh, dirty feeling like the others, in the other party. And they're very respectful, very clean hearted, very compassionate, and very heroic, and very bold, and very happily they do some things, or very gloriously they fight. So then such people will be, because you see here, Vritrasura, he told that if you are afraid to fight, you Devatas, I will leave you. You go, but don't run, just wait for 1 minute. He told like that, one moment you wait. So when he's saying, I'm not going to kill you, then the other party knows how great he is automatically. And so when he is giving such nice shots, then like how India, Pakistan will play cricket, and a great shot by Pakistan sometimes is appreciated, like, oh, Pakistan played very well, like that. Both parties will glorify. So like that, here, Ritrasura was appreciated by both parties. Okay, the time is running. We have still 3 minutes. Let's continue to three shlokas. Canto 6, chapter 11, text 11. Airavato vritra, Airavato vritra gada bimristo, vigurnito dri, vigurnito dri, kulishahato yata, apacharat pinna, mukha sahendro, munchan askra sapta, dhanur prasartha. 9 to 6, chapter 11, text 11, by Srila Prabhupada. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. struck with the club by Vritrasura like a mountain struck by a thunderbolt. The elephant Airavata, feeling great pain and spitting blood from its broken mouth, was pushed back 14 yards. In great distress, the elephant fell with Indra on its back. So the poor Airavata fell down, bleeding from in the mouth with broken mouth, spitting blood. And along with Indra on the back, you know, when it fell, obviously you know Indra's situation, but there's no purport, so we move to the next verse. Canto 6, chapter 10, 11, text 12. Nasannavaya vishanna chetase prayukta bhuya sagada mahatma indromritasyandi karabhimarsha Vitavyatakshatavaho Pataste. Into 6, chapter 11, text 12, translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. When he saw Indra's carrier elephant, thus fatigued and injured, and when he saw Indra morose, because his carrier had been harmed in that way, the great soul Vritrasura, following religious principles, refrained from again striking Indra with the club. Taking this opportunity, Indra touched the elephant with his nectar producing hand, thus relieving the animal's pain and curing its injuries. Then the elephant and Indra both stood silently. You see, there's no purport. You see how when he saw Indra's carrier elephant, thus fatigued and injured, he saw Indra morose. See, Rudrasura is seeing that Indra's elephant is fatigued, Indra is morose. Huh? Because his carrier Airavata has been harmed. Great Vritrasura, following religious principles, he didn't want to again hit, again strike Indra. So he stopped from striking Indra with the club. So when he stopped striking, Indra quickly touched with his nectar producing hand the elephant and made the elephant feel better, and both of them stood silently. They didn't know what to expect. So I don't know what to expect. Let's continue. No, time is up. So somebody else will continue, I think. Um, you want me to continue? It will go on till another 5 minutes. But I think the time is up, so I should not keep you all on hold. You all have your duties to do. If you have any questions, you can ask. I will answer only two questions today. Is that okay? Because I'm not keeping so fine. Okay. So thank you so much. Please forgive me for this class with so much of disturbances and if imperfections because I could not prepare for this class. I was sick. I somehow cooked and managed to clean up the kitchen and I thought I will rest. And at that time, while keeping the alarm, I saw the time and Krishna reminded me that I am supposed to speak about him today, about his devotee. And then I just kept a 20-minute alarm and relaxed and got up. And then there were 3 minutes to um, 4:50 p.m. So I was just going through the Subodhini a little bit. That's all. And I read with you. So I could not prepare so well, but there were no purports. So I thought it was all right to go so much. Well, thank you so much. And forgive me if this class was not not having enough content for you. And now, if you have any comments or questions, any two, we will we can take today. We will wind up in another 15 to 20 minutes. Okay? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, my Danat Pranam to you. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much for coming on the call in spite of, I wanted to say that you're not feeling well. Still, you took this seva. Very, very encouraging for all of us. Uh, some of us, when we are sick, we don't even want to get up from the bed. Just lie down on the bed, sleep as much or eat whatever we want to. But, of course, eat prasadam, but eat, whatever we desire to eat. When we are supposed to have khichdi, we don't have khichdi. We want to have other things, spicy things, especially when we are sick. It happens like that, at least with me. So, but you left apart everything and you came on the call. And thank you so much, Mataji, for the association. And thank you for moving forward. It's good we're moving forward, and we tell our other devotees coming on the call, to also move forward, but not the speed you are going, because there are only there's no translation. So we, kind of you move forward. So I don't have a specific question today, but since the text was such that we were just going along. But thank you so much, Madhaji, for taking out time and coming. And like you didn't even mention to me yesterday that like normally Mataji will say if she's busy in her seva or class that I have an exam. But even health related, I'm amazed that you didn't inform me that I'm not feeling well, that if you can have someone else speak. So thank you so much, Mataji. You're really very inspiring to all of us. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, dear Mataji. Yesterday it was not so bad. So even if it was bad, I wouldn't want to take leave because I feel very bad whenever I take leave. If I have something to prepare and I don't have time, it's all right. But if I can tolerate something and do it, I will be very happy because I did take leave. For me, it's like a job, and I have very few CLs and casual leave, and everybody wants to be greedily saving their casual leaves. We don't want to spend like that, and it will be like very demotivating for you all to every now and then. Amrita Madhavi Mataji takes a class means it will be CL only. I'll have to look for some. I don't want that. I'm already troubling you all a lot. So I thought it's okay to trouble you with little bit of cold and cough, but it is not okay to trouble you to ask you to look for someone else. So I didn't do any favor, but you people are doing actually favor on me to read about the Lord, to speak about the Lord, to be absorbed in the Lord's Bhagavatam. So I am very grateful to you all, and I am very grateful to you all to tolerate. Yeah, the speed I like to go when there is not much of a purport, so that you people can complete Srimad Bhagavatam. No, so whenever there's no purport, so I thought it was okay to go forward at the speed
Yes,
which Krishna
Mataji.
will allow.
I wanted to
Yes.
say one more thing. Like it's amazing, the variety of speakers we have. Like we have one speaker, I think everybody knows, it's Kamal Lochan Prabhu. So he was going through some, like lot of purports were coming without translation. So he went forward and missed all of them, and he wanted to give a class where there's only translation. So we have so much a variety of and then what we had to do is with the other speaker we had to reverse back because he didn't read the only translation verses. So we really enjoy the different like we have different spices in our spice box. So similarly there are different devotees that carry different bhav, and each one of them is right because they carry that energy. And I just wanted to say, like, with your classes, with Krishna in the center, we kind of, and Bhagavatam, it's like, I mean, otherwise, you're in Bangalore, so far away, I've not met you, but, Bhagavatam and Krishna has kept that close bond and connection that you even have feeling that I don't want, that to cancel then every time. And, like that, so it becomes difficult on our part. So we always with Krishna in the center, who cannot one devotee was telling me that generally husband wife both are devotees, there are somehow less chances of arguments and discussions, because ultimately Krishna is in the center. So yeah, whatever situation we have, we already have, because we started a bhakti, as Lord Chaitanya said, wherever you are. But definitely we promote our children to have spouses who are Krishna conscious, because that way there'll be less chances of having quarrel, because we are already living in the age of quarrel and the age is progressing. So more and more it's a age of quarrel, and we have to make sure that we connect to the devotee family, spouses, everyone. So yes, Mataji, thank you for connecting with us through Srimad Bhagavatam and Krishna, and that actually solidified our relationship as a speaker and as a listener. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Sorry, please go on, Mataji. You were saying something, but I just wanted to, you know, glorify you, for uh, just connecting with us through these books. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
All glories to all of you who called me. And all glories to Srila Prabhupada, and to all glories to His Grace Gaurang Darshan Prabhu, through whom we are learning Bhagavatam. So we are forced to read Bhagavatam almost every day. So that's why we are all progressing nicely. Even you all are doing daily without any course. We are doing it because we are under a course and restriction. So nice. I'm very happy to be a part of your team like this twice a month. It's very nice. Yes. Anybody has any question or comment? You're most welcome. Otherwise, we will end the call.
We're missing Partha Prabhu. He always has question or comments, precious questions, comments. He's not there on the call. He's normally every day there. I don't know how come Prabhuji is not there. So we start missing devotees, no? We haven't even met them, nothing. Once or twice I saw his face. He came, like he as visible in Ramshada Prabhu's class, Ramshada Prabhu from Mayapur. So I was fortunate. Just I'm seeing you, Martaji. I'm so fortunate to have seen. Our day will go so nice. We seeing you, and it's amazing. Like
Also,
in spite of being sick, Mataji, your face is so much radiant, and it doesn't look you're sick. It's because of the pure intense chanting you're doing. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dharmat Pranam. Thank you so much for this
Another
nectar in class. And yes, being so sick, you came on call and explained so nicely about and all shlokas in Bhagavatam. So you are so dedicated, Mataji. Thank you so much for your association. I don't have any question, but yes, Mataji, thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada. No, I am not so sick. Somehow during the class only I became extremely sick. That's all. Don't worry. I am taking steam inhalation. Can you pass this box? This box? And that is actually helping me. I should have been more words. Actually, this one with this steam inhalation like this, I am getting better fast. I should have been having a lot of phlegm, etc. It's not there. Only dry cough, and I think that also will go in 2 days. If I take lot of steam minutes today, I could not take much because my daughter was also sick and I was cooking, so I didn't get time. That's why I became sick as I should have been. Um, no, there's nothing so great because it's my duty. But there was no question, I think, what you said. Uh, I want to tell one thing that Mataji was saying that I am looking happy. Yes, that one thing is that, if you want to make Krishna happy, then it should start with our chanting. Our chanting we have to do as nicely as possible. And I have been trying to do that since the time I read Chatushloki Bhagavatam. And I am also trying to uh, think that I am chanting. Otherwise, I think good chanting is listening. Now I am chanting, saying that my Krishna, who came as Gauranga, said, chant always. So he wants me to chant. So I am chanting, Krishna, are you happy? I'm chanting, Krishna, are you happy? So that mood also is there. Plus, I'm trying to be attentive because I'm told by Prabhupada to listen to what we're chanting. So it's two things in one. And I'm also trying to do even cooking, that if this cooking, if it will make Krishna happy, Krishna, I want to use the time in a way that makes you happy. Krishna, so you gave me a class today when I'm not well. Okay, you want me to do class when I am not well. So I will do it to make you happy. So I'm trying my best to do it like that. After I read Chatushlaki Bhagavatam, I think y'all also can try. And then, when I was saying Jai Srila Prabhupada, at that time, every time I said, I would close my eyes and I would say, Krishna, this is to make you happy in my mind, and I would say, Jai Srila Prabhupada. So I'm not practicing that. So even if you all can practice that, then uh, sickness or troubles in life will keep coming and going without actually impacting our relationship and our desire to please Krishna always. I thought this will be helpful, so I just shared with you. Yes, if you have any questions, because there's no questions so far, I'm waiting for any one question. If you have, if you don't have, very good. We will save our time to do my chanting and my. I have to give a class on Sunday, so I will use my time for that. If you don't have question, if you have, I will answer one question. That's all. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much for your wonderful class, Mataji, and I hope you recover very soon. And next time we will see you in a good health, Mataji. So I think we can end the call here
Thank you.
if nobody has any questions now, Mataji, so that you can have time for your class and for your chanting. Thank you so much, Mataji, for your association. Vancha kalpatrubhishya kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anant Koti Vaishnavind ki jai, Srila
Jai,
Prabhupada ki
Jai,
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 Srimad
Jai,
Bhagvatam ki jai, Her Grace
jai,
Amrita
Jai.
Mataji Mataji ki jai.
jai.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
All glories to
Thank you,
Srila Prabhupada. Hare
Mataji. Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Get
Thank
well
you.
soon,
Hare Krishna.
Mataji. Get well soon, Mataji.
Thank you.
Hare
Thank you. Thank
Krishna.
you. Thank you. Hare Krishna.